Folks, be careful about buying a blacklisted condo. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for condos across the GTA for week ending April the 3rd, 2024. Thank you to the many of you that have subscribed. Those of you that haven't, you're here every single week anyways. Why not subscribe? So, as I'm working with buyer clients, could be freehold properties, could be condos, every now and then, one of them will see a property that has sold in the area that they're looking at that sells way below what is commonly expected as being market value in that area. Since this is a condo show, let's talk about condos. A client of mine will send me a property, says, why would this sell so low when everything else in the area is so much more? And I'll look at it and it turns out that that condo building is blacklisted. Let me explain what a blacklisted condo is. Consider a condo is run like a company. There's a condo board that is responsible for the management and running of this condo business. Now, the condo has lots of expenses. Somebody needs to shovel the snow or cut the grass. These are all common areas. The underground parking needs to be taken care of at some point. The elevators constantly need maintenance. And what if an elevator breaks down? Then somebody needs to be called in to repair the elevators. The hallways and floors and the gym and the pool all need to be cleaned and serviced. It's a lot of money. There's a lot of moving parts. And so there's a condo board running this condo company, if you will. Well, they pay for all this from your maintenance fees. They put a bit of money aside from your maintenance fees that goes to the daily running of the company, of the condo board, of the condo building. But also the condo company has planned ahead. They know in 20, 30 years, all the windows will need to be replaced. They know that in 20, 30 years, the roof will need to be redone. These are not inexpensive things. These can cost thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. Well, every now and then, something will happen. The roof, for example, that is supposed to last 50 years, 60 years, something screwed up in the process, and in 20 years, the roof needs to be replaced. I know I might be exaggerating for effect here, but you get what I mean. So the condo board has got this massive expense. They don't have the money. They've been planning on saving a little bit at a time over the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years to be able to do that repair. Now it's come at their doorstep right away. They just don't have the money. What do? They get a loan. And they could have such a massive debt that they may decide to give a special assessment where every single condo owner needs to chip in $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, some crazy numbers to cover this repair. Well, for sure, when maintenance fees go up that much or their special assessment, it speaks directly to the value of those units. And so values tend to plummet. Or the condo board, the building gets sued and the condo's insurance is not covering it, and the condo board has this massive debt for being sued for something. It's the same result. They basically have to pay a ton of money that they do not have. They get a loan for it. They got to get the money from the people that own condos in this building, and special assessment or maintenance fees shoot through the roof. So values tend to plummet because, why would you buy a condo for X amount of dollars and the maintenance fee is double, triple, quadruple than what it is in all the surrounding buildings that don't have the same issue? So values plummet. Here you are looking at this building thinking, hey, you know what? Price is pretty good at this unit. yeah, maybe I could deal with the extra maintenance fee. You may be thinking that, and you're going to go and you're going to apply to the for your mortgage. You're thinking, yeah, I've saved my 10%, my 15%. The problem with these condos that the lenders blacklist is because they can't predict what the value is going to be of these condos, and values can plummet further. So the major lenders choose not to lend to these condos. And that's where the word blacklisted comes from. They are blacklisted, like, no way are we lending money on anybody buying in this condo. So you may want to buy it, but you're going to find out that the main lenders will probably say no, most likely say no. There are some lenders that still may lend on these units, but they're going to want 35%, 40%, 50% maybe, or many of them may say no. But every now and then, there are lenders that will lend on these properties, will give you a mortgage, but interest rates are going to be different, and your down payment has got to be really, really high. It's not your typical 10, 15, 20%. So be careful about buying these blacklisted condo, and know that you're really, at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. So yeah, price could be really, really lower than all the surrounding condos out there, but there's a reason for that. Maintenance fees are through the roof. And just another thought, you might think, I'm going to buy in it, I'm going to buy it so much cheaper, and it's going to, it's going to sort itself out, and then it's not going to be blacklisted later, and prices then will shoot back up again. There's a thought there to that, but you might be waiting a long, long, long time for that. And it may never happen because problems perpetuate and leads to other problems, and it may be blacklisted for many, many, many years. Here's the other thought. You at least know that it's blacklisted, and you're going into this eyes wide open, knowing what to expect. There's people that own this before it was blacklisted. They have their savings in this property, this condo that they own, and then the problems happen after. Imagine those people. So it's never really a good situation that a building is blacklisted, but they are amongst us, these buildings, and just, be careful, know what you're buying. If you think this video can help somebody please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link to my calendar. Below this video in the description, there's a link. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. We'll talk about whatever's on your mind. One last thing on blacklisted condos. There's no list. You can't go look it up anywhere and see which ones are blacklisted. Ask the person who's helping you with the mortgage. Figure that out if the condo is blacklisted or not. If you're looking for an awesome studio in one of the trendiest buildings in the city, check out the video at the end of this video. Let's get started here. We're talking about condo apartments. I'm going to be dealing with Toronto condos, York Region condos, and Peel condos. Quick summary, these are average sold prices. Toronto and York Region, you can see prices trending upwards. Peel, not sure what's happening here yet with prices, but let's have a look. We're going to start off with the City of Toronto for week ending April 3rd. 178 condos were sold for week ending April the 3rd. Yep, sales dropped quite a bit. The amount of condos selling at $1 million or more also dropped quite a bit. We went from 25 to 10 on those. Sales generally across the board in freehold and in condos have dropped for week ending April 3rd. Easter weekend was in the middle of that, and that's a big reason. Anytime we get long weekends, we generally see sales dropping. So 178 were sold. Average sold price, though, continued to climb. It's now sitting at $753,000. 753 is 6% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 3% higher. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. Pretty clear. Prices gradually steadily are trending upwards for condos. 178 were sold, 37% sold at list price or more. That percentage, except for the 1 week here, let's forget about that, generally trending up 1 or 2 percentage points more every week. Active listings is also trending up. 708 were listed for week ending April the 3rd. Months of inventory, because sales came way down, and it looks at those sales as if those are going to be the sales for the next 4-week period. Months of inventory sitting at 4.8, but it was hovering between 3 and 3.9 for the last 2.5 months. For this week though, it's 4.8 at the top end of a balanced market. That's all of Toronto. If we break Toronto down into 9 sections, let's have a look at what's going on. So we said all Toronto, 4.8 is the months of inventory. In Scarborough, it's 2.3 the months of inventory. It's a little bit more active. If we go to Etobicoke, lots of condos get it sold in Etobicoke, especially South Etobicoke. Months of inventory, a little bit better than the overall average, sitting at 3.7 months of inventory. In Etobicoke, 397 active listings, only 25 were sold. Rexdale, only 4 were sold. There's 114 to choose from. 114, only 4 were sold. North Toronto, you're looking at 17 were sold, 5.8 months of inventory, so it's higher than the overall average. 17 were sold, 429 to choose from, active listings. So there's lots of properties, lots of condos available for sale. Midtown, 5.1 months of inventory. Downtown, 6.2. Downtown has the highest, I believe. Well, no, Rexdale has 6.6, but 6.2 in downtown Toronto, 6.2 months of inventory. 53 were sold, so it's one of the highest sales of the area of Toronto. However, 53 were sold. It's 1,421 active listings. There are lots and lots of condos to choose from. So that's Toronto. We're going to go to York Region condos now. Sales dropped way down to 27. One of those was at $1 million or more. Average sold price climbing up, $695,000. $695 is pretty much where we were last year. It's a little bit lower, but rounded percentage-wise, it's a 0% change. Median price is 2% lower than where we were this time a year ago. 27 were sold, 26% were sold at list price or more, so basically about a quarter of them. Active listings is trending up. Listings, 126 were listed, and months of inventory way up there at 5.1 months of inventory. Big jump from the previous week, and that's because sales plummeted. And the formula really takes the sales that we are doing, assuming that's what we're going to do for the month, and it calculates, well, based on how many properties are available for sale and at the rate we're buying, how quickly will we go through all the inventory? Well, we're basically calculating that we have 5.1 months of inventory. It's pretty much at the top end of a balanced market and into the bottom end of a buyer's market. But that's this week, folks. I don't want you to think that that's really where it's at. It's probably sitting around 3 months because that's where we were just before the Easter long weekend. Here's Peel region. 38 condos were sold. Now in the other regions, sales came down for Easter weekend. Not in Peel region. Sales are pretty much where they've been the last few weeks. 38 were sold. One of those was at $1 million or more. Average sold price, it's been bouncing up and down the last few weeks. It's now sitting at $595,000. $595 is 11% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 7% lower. 38 were sold, 34% sold at list price or more, so just over a third. 107 were listed. Active listings is climbing up, and months of inventory staying steady at 3.3 months of inventory. You see how the other regions' sales drop, months of inventory shot up? Well, sales didn't drop in Peel Region condos, and months of inventory is pretty steady. Here's a quick summary. If we base it just on this week, well, we're pretty much at the top end of a balanced market or buyer's market. I would suggest we wait another week and really look at it, and you're probably going to find that we're more in a balanced market across the board, across GTA when it comes to condos. Thanks for watching. Now check out this awesome studio apartment. This chic studio is located in one of the trendiest buildings in the city. Have a look.